Hello guys, welcome to Academic Coordinates. In this video, we're going to be solving a quadratic inequality x squared plus 7x is less than 0. So solving for x, right? So first and foremost, I'm obviously going to teach you guys how to do this using a graph and how to do this using the table method, right? So first and foremost, let's factorize or factor out x here. X into x plus 7 less than 0. Let me actually use a white color. Okay, so basically, when you are dealing with quadratic inequalities and you want to solve it graphically, you need to have an idea of how the function looks like. Let's find now or write the critical values here. We see x is equals to 0 or x is equals to minus 7. So it's actually 0 and minus 7. So how does this function looks like now? Let's draw a nice Cartesian plane there. So this is something like this. Oh. Okay, so it's not doing it. So let me do it by hand. Maybe something like this. Okay, cool. So now this is going to be 0. This is going to be minus 7. So these critical values are going to be the x-intercepts, you know. So this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. Remember, the equation of the x-axis is y is equals to 0. So now we are being asked, as when you are solving this graphically, we are basically being asked here, if it's x multiplied by x plus 7 less than 0, they're asking where is this graph below the x-axis, and that is the case here. Do you guys see that? So we simply need to express that now. How to express that is going to be x is actually between 0 and minus 7. You guys see that? Or we can express it in this form. X is an element of x is an element of minus 7 to 0. Let me write that properly there. X is an element of minus 7 to 0, right? Okay, guys, whichever representation you guys prefer, it's all cool. And then let me show you now how you can do this using the table method. And as I've said that the table method, the only thing that governs this, in my own way, is that you just need to know that a positive times a positive is a positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive and vice versa is a negative. So if you know this, as far as the table method is concerned, if you know this, then we are good to go. So we've got x into x plus 7, right? So now we just need to write the critical values there. So it's 0 and it's actually going to be minus 7 initially. It's going to be minus 7 and 0. Minus 7 and 0, right? Okay, so we need any value of x that is less than minus 7, and we put it here. Then we're going to have a negative. Any value of x that is between minus 7 and 0, and you put it here, we're going to get negative. Then at 0, this is going to be 0. And then any value of x greater than 0, and then we put it here, then we're going to have a positive value. And then now for x plus 7, any value of x that is less than minus 7, we're still going to get a negative, right? Let's put minus 8, for example. Minus 8 plus 7. This is what? Minus 1, right? So hence you've got a negative value. And then at minus 7 here, that's the critical value, critical, get a 0. And then any value that is above 7 but less than 0 is, you put it here, you're going to get a positive. Then any value that is greater than 0, let's say 10 or 4 or 6, going to get a positive. So basically, these values of x, any value of x that is less than 7 here, any value of x that is less than 0 but greater than minus 7, any value of x that is greater than 0, right? So basically now we're going to multiply these things. So now what we need to do here is that we've got this and we've got this. We've got two portions that are multiplying each other. They should give a value that is less than 0, or they should give a negative, right? So now let's multiply. So a negative times a negative, that's going to be a positive, right? Then a negative times a positive, that's going to be a negative. And then a positive times a positive, that's a positive. So what are we looking for? This is the portion that you are interested in, and that portion is actually x is less than 0 and greater than minus 7. And also, as I've said, you can also express it in this fashion, minus 7 to 0. And remember, these are round brackets because it's strictly less than 0. Okay, guys, do stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your day.